If you're looking to start simplifying your life, you're in the right place. Today, Josh and I are sharing 2 of our favorite minimalist rules in action. These are our favorite 2 rules that we live by the most when it comes to decluttering and simplifying our home.
First up, we have the classic 1 in, 1 out rule. Every time we think of buying something new or bringing something into our home, we toss something out. Well, not toss, we either sell, donate to a thrift store, or give away to our local Buy Nothing group. Once we have the new thing, there's no need for whatever it's replacing, most of the time at least. So if we hold on to it, it just clutters up space and holds up a decision until later down the road, which really contributes to mental clutter. So if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, and even if you're not, the 1 in, 1 out rule is a great minimalist rule to implement into your household if you want a simplified and clutter-free space. Now, for it in action, the 1 in, 1 out rule, Jess and I actually just bought some new rechargeable batteries and they arrived yesterday. We've been slowly working on replacing our batteries across our entire home to ones that are high quality rechargeables. They don't make batteries like they used to. They're making them insultingly cheap. And when I grew up in the 90s, it was a rare occurrence to have a typical AA battery that would die within 2 months and explode. Now in 2024, it's happened too many times to count. And the battery life for things like sensor lights, TV remotes, fan controllers, they're all needing battery replacements within 6 months or less nowadays. It's more than annoying. It's expensive and wasteful, and we're sick of replacing batteries just knowing they're going to be replaced soon again. Batteries are a pain to dispose of, and we have a huge pile here that we need to deposit in our local battery recycling scheme.
So we bit the bullet and finally bought some rechargeable batteries. They've been excellent. We started by just buying 15 and trialing them in a few different things across our home, and they've been doing a really good job. They've held their charge really well, and it feels wonderful knowing we can recharge them. We actually bought them 6 months ago and loved them so much that we budgeted for some more this month and we bought 8 more. Like we said, they're not cheap, but we actually did the math on it and worked out that the sheer amount we were spending on cheap batteries that didn't last was more. Math-wise, we're actually saving hundreds of dollars a year by switching over to rechargeable batteries. So back to our rule of 1 in, 1 out, that's us putting it into action today. We've got wonderful new rechargeable batteries and we're dropping off our giant pile of old batteries. They definitely can't go in the regular rubbish or else they'll leach horrible chemicals into your wastewater and pollute the land around you, which no one wants. So we're off to Aldi to drop these off responsibly.
It's surprising how many batteries the average household accumulates, and you might be surprised at how many things in your house need batteries replaced. So if you're with us on the journey of simplifying, then it might be time to take stock of your tech that uses batteries, run the numbers, and see if it makes sense for your household to invest in some great rechargeable batteries. And do a solid for the environment while you're at it. The 1 in, 1 out rule, it's an absolute game changer for simplifying your home.
The second rule that we live by is the 12 by 12 minimalism rule. I first heard about the 90 by 90 rule from Joshua Fields Milburn and Ryan Nicodemus of the Minimalists. It's basically if you have an item you haven't used in the last 90 days and don't plan to use it within the next 90 days, toss it. And by toss, we mean sell, donate, or give away. It's a great, simple guideline for asking yourself if you should keep something. Josh and I actually default for 12 months for everything. Thus, the 12 by 12 rule was born. It's the same principle of the minimalist rule, but Josh and I project out by 12 months instead. It's a good period of time, one that we can easily visualize. It's a year, and generally it works well for the majority of things around the typical home.
For most items in the home, especially seasonal ones like Christmas decorations, a 12-month guidepost is ideal. The 90-day rule clearly wouldn't work well here, so 12 months is far more realistic, I think, for the vast majority of stuff in your home. And for those of us who aren't extreme minimalists, we put up decorations every 12 months for Christmas. But if you find yourself never reaching for certain decoration items year after year, it's a good idea to employ the 12 by 12 month minimalism rule and let it go. We did this past Christmas once we had set up all our Christmas decorations. The things that were left out, we took a hard look at them, and if we hadn't put them out on the previous Christmas as well, it was a lot easier to just let them go when using this minimalism rule. It was like we had permission from ourselves to let them go, instead of being unsure if we should hold on. It gave us structure and a predefined criteria for allowing ourselves to let go of things instead of getting caught up on whether we should or not. So tweak the number to suit the item in your home, especially if it is seasonal, and ask yourself the two simple questions. Have I used this in the last 12 months and will I use it in the next 12 months? If not, it's okay to let it go.
Putting this rule into action today, let's head over into the kitchen and find something that we haven't used in the last 12 months. Here we go, our baking paper. We've not used this baking paper in the last year, and we don't plan on using it in the next year because we've actually been using silicone baking mats instead. They're reusable and do a way better job at keeping things non-stick. I always hated the single-use aspect of baking paper, and it's coated with a wax that doesn't even work that well. Things still get stuck. We bake a lot of things in our oven, and I cook nearly every meal at home. So after many years of getting annoyed at baking paper, I made the switch to silicone baking mats. They're great, and I really don't need to hang on to this giant roll of subpar baking paper. So putting our 12 by 12 minimalism rule into action, let's let go of it. I'll take a photo and post it on our local Buy Nothing Facebook group. Someone will definitely want it. If you're ever stuck or not knowing where to offload things, we'd 100% suggest joining your local Buy Nothing Facebook group. There's groups all around the world, and it's basically a project started by friends who wanted to spark a more helpful, resourceful, circular sharing economy. So literally everything is free. Type in your suburb and Buy Nothing project into your Facebook search bar, and you should have a group nearby. I was amazed at us having groups all around us when we moved to a different part of the state, and it's been the best way to connect with our local community and growing a hyperlocal gift economy. Josh and I gave away our vacuum cleaner to a lovely woman a few months ago who was in dire need of one. Ours had just been sitting in our garage collecting dust for months because we just use our robot vacuum instead nowadays. She was beyond thankful and appreciative that she actually cried happy tears and gave us a huge hug. It felt great to help someone out, plus it actually helped us out because our vacuum cleaner was just taking up space in our garage for way too long. It was actually Josh's and my first ever big purchase together, that vacuum cleaner, and it's nice to know it's being put to good use. So there's so many wonderful benefits of decluttering. Why hold on to something that you're not using if someone else would love to use it today?
So there we go, our two favorite minimalism rules that we live by, and putting them into action today so our home feels a little bit lighter from dead batteries and single-use baking paper. The 1 in, 1 out rule and the 12 by 12 month rule. What is your favorite minimalism rule? Let us know in the comments down below, and we'll catch you next time for more simple, cozy minimalism tips. Bye.
Seat's nice and warm, Josh. Benefits of decluttering. I don't know why I'm making noises like that. You're pretty.
Good.
A round of applause.